Hello everyone, my name is Rosa and this is a short Vinyasa class with some quiet, relaxed poses. Super nice to calm yourself and to relax your body, to slow your body down by doing some nice stretching poses. So let's get started. You can come sit cross-legged. Maybe you like to sit onto a block or a blanket. Make sure your legs are relaxed and your back is straight. Maybe you can close your eyes and inhale deeply through the nose and out through the mouth. In through the nose and sigh everything out and arrive on the mat. Just feel where your body is touching the mat, where you are literally grounded. So at the feet, maybe the legs, the sitting bones on the mat or maybe onto a block or a cushion. Very lightly engage the pelvic floor muscles, very lightly. And bring your lower belly in and up, also very light. And we're going to follow our spine with our minds. Starting at the tailbone, going up to the sacrum, going up and see the natural curve in the lower back. You see the mid-back, the upper back, and we will end with the neck. Now roll your shoulders up and down the back. Relax your arms. Your hands can rest anywhere where it feels good. Your chin is slightly in while the crown of the head is reaching towards the sky. Relax your face. Notice your breathing. Just observe the breath. You don't need to judge it. You don't need to get attached to the thoughts coming up. Just come back to your breath. Every time you need to be more calm, you can always come back to the breath. Listen to yourself. And just listen to the in and out breaths. And for now, bring your hands in front of your heart into Anjali Mudra in prayer position, palms touching each other. And set your own intention for this practice, or maybe the day, maybe the night. And bring your hands in front of your forehead. And you can maybe open up your eyes, release the hands. And then bring your right ear towards your right shoulder. A little neck stretch. Maybe you can bring your left hand up and flex the hand so the fingers point towards you. Release the hand and bring your left ear towards your left shoulder. Maybe you can bring up your right hand and flex the right hand. Breathe into the neck. And then come back to the center. Inhale, bring your hands up. And with an exhale, you twist to the right. Your left hand is coming onto your your right knee or your right upper thigh. Your right fingertips behind you. With every inhale, you feel your spine lengthen. And with every exhale, you twist maybe a little bit deeper. Inhale, bring your hands to the center. And exhale the other side. Right hand on your left upper thigh or on your knee. Left fingertips behind you. With every inhale, you feel the spine lengthen. And with every exhale, you twist maybe a little bit deeper. And then with an inhale, come back to the center. And with an exhale, this time we fold forwards. So come wherever you land. Make sure you relax the shoulders. Maybe you can bring something underneath your forehead. Make sure your sitting bones are still on the mat. Lengthen the spine. And come deep. With the next inhale, you walk your hands up. Then bring your other leg in front. So for me, it's now the left leg in front. With an inhale, bring the arms up. And exhale, fold forwards. I think this side will probably be more stiff. It's totally fine. Just go wherever you can go. Make sure you relax into it with every exhale. Walk your hands up And we'll come to hands and knees. I recommend you to take off your socks. And then we'll come to a tabletop. So your wrists are underneath your shoulders, your knees are underneath your hips. And then with an inhale, you bring your tailbone up, your belly goes down and look up. Exhale, tailbone goes down, round the back and look in. Inhale, tailbone up, look up. And exhale, plant the palms round the back. Inhale. And exhale. So this time you come back to a tabletop position. And with an inhale, you bring your right arm up. Exhale, thread the needle, you bring your right arm underneath you, the palm facing up, and you bring your right cheek on the mat. Maybe you walk your left hand forward and your fingertips. And maybe you can bind your left hand behind you and grab the right upper thigh. And then you can bring your left hand in front of your face, flat onto the mat, fingers wide spread, and with an inhale you bring your right hand up and exhale, right hand underneath your wrist. Inhale, bring your left hand up and exhale, bring it underneath you, your left palm facing up, left cheek on the mat. You can walk your hands in front of you to the front of the mat with the fingertips on the mat, or maybe you like to wrap it around. Bring your right hand in front of your face, fingers wide spread. Inhale, left hand up, and exhale, left hand down. And come back to a child's pose. So bring your knees as wide as the mat. Your big toes are touching in the middle of the mat. And bring your hips towards your heels. Forehead onto the mat. Stretch yourself out. And look to the front of the mat towards your hands. And then bring yourself with the chest onto the mat, so as close to the mat as possible. You bring yourself to the front. Make sure your legs are now hip distance apart. Your feet are hip distance apart. And with an inhale, we come up with the chest. Plant your hands into the mat. Make sure your fingers are wide spread. And then with an exhale, you bring your toes under and bring your hips towards your heels. So make sure your toes are under, so you stretch the back of the feet. Forehead onto the mat. And with the next inhale, you come forward again into a cobra pose. Toes flat onto the mat. Exhale, come back, toes under. And stretch. Inhale, cobra, toes flat onto the mat. And exhale, toes under, child's pose. One more time, inhale. And exhale. And come back to a tabletop position. Going to do one more arm stretch. You bring your right hand in front of you and then go down with your heels and your left elbow is going back. So you stretch the right arm. Your forehead is going to the mat. Inhale, come up. Exhale, other side. Left hand in front of you, right elbow goes back. Inhale up. Right arm in front of you, exhale down. Inhale up. And exhale, other side. Inhale up. Then you're back in tabletop. Bring your toes under you. And with your exhale, you come back into your first downward facing dog. Spread the fingers wide. Do what feels good. Maybe you like to pedal the feet out by bending one knee and then the other. Maybe you like to shake your head loose by saying yes and no with your head. And breathe deep. And bend your knees, look to the front of the mat and walk your feet towards your hands. Your feet are hip distance apart. And you grab the opposite elbow. Ragdoll pose. Feet are grounded into the mat. Your sitting bones are reaching up. Maybe you like to sway side to side. Then let go of the elbows. Then bring your big toes to touch in the middle of the mat with the heels lightly apart. If this is too much, you can always keep your feet underneath your hips. Then with an inhale, you bring your arms up. Exhale, hands in front of your heart, mountain pose. Breathe in deep. And breathe out. Inhale, bring your arms up, interlace your fingers except your index fingers, so you're pointing your index fingers up. And then with an exhale, you bend to the sides. And your hips go the other direction. Inhale, center. And exhale, bend to the other side. Inhale to center. And with an exhale, you bend your elbows, open up your heart. Inhale, bring your arms up. And exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. You bring your hands onto your shins, or maybe your fingertips are onto the mat. Make sure your back is straight, the crown of your head is reaching forward, tailbone reaching backwards. Exhale, plant your palms and come back to a plank pose. Inhale and plank. And with an exhale, you come to a downward facing dog. Inhale, bring your right leg up. And exhale, plant your right foot next to your right thumb. If you need more steps for this is totally fine. And bring your left knee down. Toes flat onto the mat. With an inhale, you bring your arms up. And then make a fist. Your hands are in fists. And then with an exhale, you bring your hips back. You straighten the front leg. A little bit of strength. Inhale, arms up. Make fists and bring your right leg straight. As straight as you can. Inhale, up. And exhale, straighten that leg. Inhale, up. Exhale, straighten that leg. Inhale, up. And then plant your hands. Keep your left hand onto the mat. With an inhale, bring your right hand up. Easy twist. You cannot look up to your hand. If this doesn't feel good for your neck, you can always look down. Last inhale. With an exhale, plant your right hand down. Come back to a plank pose. And then into downward facing dog. Inhale, bring your left leg up. And exhale, plant your left foot next to your left thumb. Right knee goes down, toes flat. Inhale, arms up, make fists. Exhale, straighten that front leg. And bring your hips back. Inhale up. And exhale goes back. Inhale up. And exhale, go back. Inhale up, make fists. Exhale. Last time, inhale goes up. And plant your hands. Right hand stays onto the mat. Inhale, reach the left hand up. Maybe you look up or down. Whatever feels good. And then bring your left hand down to the mat. You bring your right knee back. And bring your knees together this time. And toes together as well. And then bring your hips towards your heels. You bring your forehead onto the mat. And you can rest your arms alongside the body with the palms facing up. Breathe deep. You bring your hands out in front of you and make your way to your chest again, to your belly. And bring your arms out with the elbows pointing up, your fingertips onto the mat. And with an inhale, you come up into a cobra. Exhale down. Inhale, cobra. And exhale. Inhale, cobra. And exhale, come down. And let's stay onto your belly. Your forehead is onto the mat. And bring your elbows bent with the end of the palms of your hands onto the mat. Then you bring your right knee into a 90-degree angle. Your foot is flexed. I will show you by standing. You are laying on your belly onto the mat. And what you do is actually this. While you lay onto your belly. And then you can bring your left cheek onto the mat. So you're facing your bent knee. Frog pose. Bring your forehead into the mat. Your right leg goes down and bring your left knee up. In a 90-degree angle, your left foot is flexed. You can bring your right cheek onto the mat. Give yourself to the mat, make yourself heavy. Surrender and breathe. Your forehead into the mat. Your leg goes straight. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders, your toes going under. With an exhale, come into a downward facing dog. Inhale, bring your right leg up. And then with an exhale, you bring your right knee underneath your right wrist, your right foot underneath your left wrist. Left knee goes down, toes flat onto the mat. You can look over your left shoulder to see if your left leg is in line with the left hip. And look back in front again. Inhale. And with an exhale, come down. Bringing your forehead onto the mat. Maybe onto your hands, into a cushion. Whatever feels good. Flex your right toes and breathe into this pose. If you have any pain in the right knee, you can come to lie onto your back. Bring your right ankle over your left thigh and bring your left knee towards you while you moving your right knee away from you. Make sure you relax your shoulders also in this pose. Your hands, your face. And walk your hands up. Plant your hands, bring your left toes under and come to a downward facing dog. Pedal your feet out. Feel the difference between one side and the other. Then you bring your left leg up and bring your left knee underneath your left wrist, your left foot underneath your right wrist. Right knee goes down, toes flat. Look over your right shoulder to check if your right leg is in line with the right hip. Look forward again. Inhale. And exhale, foot forwards. Surrender. Breathe deep. Whenever thoughts come up, just let them be. Let them float away. Your breath is the most important thing right now. Your breath and yourself. Walk your hands up. Spread the fingers wide. Bring your right toes under you. And come back to the downward facing dog. Last downward facing dog. Enjoy. Bend your knees and come to hands and knees and make your way to lying onto your back. What I always do is to sit onto the front of my mat, then straighten my arms, and then come slowly down while I use my core, vertebrae by vertebrae, onto the mat. And can you bring your knees in, and spread your arms wide into a T shape, or if you don't have any space, like me, you can bend your elbows with the palms facing up. And then with an exhale, you bring your knees to the right. Maybe you look to the left. Make sure your shoulders are both into the mat. If this is not the case, you can maybe bring your knees more up or bring something underneath your knees. Breathe deep in a twist. Bring your head to the center, your knees to the center. With an exhale, you bring your knees to the left, and maybe you look to the right. Again, make sure your shoulders are into the mat. If this is not the case, you can bring your knees more up or bring something underneath the knees. Bring your head and your knees to the center. Bring your hands towards your knees. We're going to do some rounds for the lower back. So bring your knees to the right and bring them down to the left and up, and feel a nice massage at the lower back. Try to do it 3 times or maybe more. And then the other side. Try to do both sides equal. If you come back to the center, you can bring your feet up. And bring your arms alongside the body, a little bit wide, your palms facing up. Viparita Karani. So if you do this pose against the wall, it is also super relaxed. Also before you go to sleep, you can do that. And let it go. Stretch yourself out. More inhale. And exhale through the mouth. Let it go. Inhale through the nose. And out through the mouth. Come to lying Shavasana. Maybe you like to put something warm on. And then if you're in Shavasana, relax the arms alongside the body, palms facing up. Let go of any controlled breathing or tension. Feel your head heavy into the mat. Your shoulders heavy into the mat. While your chest is open. Your hips are heavy into the mat. And I let go of anything. This is the time for you where you don't have to do a thing. Stay at least 5 minutes in Shavasana. Can wait till I guide you out. Just relax right now. Shavasana. You can bring some movement back into your body. The toes and the ankles, the wrists, the fingers. Maybe sway your head from side to side. Your knees into your body. Knees into the chest. You cannot really bring it into your body, but your knees to the chest. And then roll over to your right side. And come back to seated position, just like you started this practice. Bring your hands in front of your heart in Anjali Mudra, prayer position. Smile to yourself, give yourself a big, loving smile. Be grateful for all the lessons you've learned. Conscious ones and the unconscious ones. And bring your hands to your forehead. I would like to thank you very much. Namaste.